Hey guys, I'm Seb, the Associate Development Test Lead on Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
So what are you showing here at E3, Seb?
Oh, well, we're showing the all-new Ghost Recon Breakpoint that's going to be releasing in October.
So what does your team learn from Wildlands that you've improved and changed in Breakpoint?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff that were influenced by community feedback. First one was for the AI archetypes. Basically, people were asking for a lot more variety, and that's what we're bringing this time around. So for example, you're going to have all sorts of new humanoid archetypes like callers, like heavies, like drone carriers, stuff like that. But on top of that, we're also bringing drones. We're bringing land drones, we're bringing air drones, all sorts of varieties. They're going to be a huge challenge for the players.
You also opened up, you had limited, you had a class system in Wildlands, but you're taking that away, so now anyone can use any weapon.
Yeah, exactly. The idea here is that it's still Ghost Recon. We want total freedom of choice for the players, and we're really excited about the class system. But then we thought about it, we're like restricting certain weapons to certain classes might, keep some people from playing them, so we don't want any of that. So total freedom of choice, so we decided to open it up, no more restrictions, you can use any weapon with any class.
Can you talk about the scale of this world and how, is it bigger than the Wildlands map or the same size?
Well, the island of Aurora itself is as big as the entire map of Wildlands. But that's not it. In our post-launch plan, we're going to be having other islands popping up around the island, so it's going to be a huge, huge area.
Can you talk about some of the biomes players will be able to explore?
Yeah, so it's going to be desert, snow, mountain ranges, marshes, you name it. Any type of ecosystem you can think of, you can find on Aurora, because it's a pretty incredible island with lots of stuff to explore.
It sounds like you have a lot of new systems and mechanics in place. You mentioned a semi-permanent damage system. Talk a little bit about that.
Which is very cool. So basically, when you're playing the game, when you're navigating terrain or when you're in combat, you can sustain semi-permanent injuries. And these injuries, what they're going to do is they're going to affect your gameplay in various ways. For example, they could slow down your movement speed a bit or make your aim a bit shakier. Nothing that's going to be game-breaking for you guys, but maybe just a bit annoying that you're going to think of, do I want to deal with this injury now or do I want to wait till later? So the concept here is, okay, you can deal with the injury in the heat of battle, but it's going to take some time and it's going to leave you very vulnerable. You might want to retreat to somewhere safer, like a bivouac, to take care of that.
Wildlands had a centric focus on team-based gameplay where you're working together with your teammates. It remains the same here, but it seems like it's even harder because you have even more things to worry about.
Well, yes and no, in the sense that we have tons of things going on, but you're still the ghost. You still have access to the latest technology, the latest items and stuff like that. And with the class specialization, you're going to have special abilities and items for those classes that are going to make you that much more deadly.
Can you talk about the story in this game? What's your character's motivation to survive on this island?
Well, basically, when you crash land on this island, you're behind enemy lines and you don't know what's going on. Basically, you were called in on the call, there's some weird stuff going on in this island. You crash land there and you have to figure out how to survive, first of all, and then who your enemy is and how to go about it. So lots of stuff to unravel. Yeah.
Can you talk about any new vehicles or weapons you're introducing for the first time?
Absolutely. So in Wildlands, we had a big variety of vehicles, but this time around on Aurora, because it's under martial law, we wanted to put the accent more on military-themed vehicles. So you're going to see a lot more cool stuff, some bigger, badder stuff, and we're not going to spoil it for you right now. Just play the game and you'll see.
Is your game supporting ray tracing?
That's a good question. I'm going to talk about that some other time.
What are you most excited about for people to experience from Breakpoint?
Everything, to be honest. It's a whole new experience. The survival mechanics, the new gameplay mechanics that we're bringing in, such as the bivouac, the class system, the progression system that we haven't really touched on that much up to now. That's going to be super exciting for players. All sorts of stuff. We have a robust post-launch plan, episodes planned. We have a raid, tons and tons of content ahead.
So talk about what new players have to look forward to in Breakpoint and what returning players will recognize from Breakpoint.
Okay, so what you'll recognize is that it's still Ghost Recon. So this is still a Ghost Recon game. How can I put this? One-shot headshots will always kill humanoid enemies. However, you'll now go up against drones, and drones will be a lot tougher to take out. And in the interest of that, you're going to be able to level your guns and your equipment to be able to take on these drones faster and stuff like that. But it's still Ghost Recon. You're still going to be playing tactically. You're still going to be taking out humans like in real life in one shot if your aim is steady.
I saw some animals in your trailer that you showed off. Do those play a role in being alerted to the enemy or anything like that?
They do not, unfortunately, play that role. They're just super cool. We love having animals in the game. But yeah, that might be a good idea for the next installment.
When does your game come out and what platforms will it be on?
All right, it's going to release on October 4th on PS4, X1, and PC.
Any plans for Nintendo Switch?
No. I'm sorry. I didn't want to say no like that, but we don't have any plans at this time. But we might have stuff to share later on.